It's that time again, and Jason is here, so you know we're talking about YouthWorks today. July 1st is fast approaching. For the 5th consecutive year, YouthWorks will offer summer jobs to more than 8,000 young people 14 to 21 years of age. We could not achieve this without the support of foundations, businesses, local and state government, and individual donors. We are truly grateful for all the support we receive. Today, we will acknowledge 3 of YouthWorks' top financial donors from the philanthropic and business community. Thank you to the Annie E. Casey Foundation for its $500,000 contribution that will employ 321 young people this summer. Sir Mumford, Senior Associate at Casey, has joined us today. Again, thank you for your continued support. With us today, we have representatives from Bank of America, Greater Maryland Market President Sabina Kelly, and JPMorgan Chase Vice President Nicole Elam, who will share remarks about their contribution of $100,000 each, employing a total of 126 youth and young adults. We'll also hear from Fred Banks, Program Director at the Maryland Department of Natural Resources, who operates a youth work site using contributions to pay youth wages. Before I turn it over to the Director of the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, Jason Perkins-Cohen, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Councilman Robert Stokes and Councilwoman Shannon Sneed. And at this time, I would like to introduce the Director of the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, Jason Perkins-Cohen, who will update you on YouthWorks and introduce our speakers.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
What a great day. First, I want to thank Mayor Young for the introduction, of course, but also for always putting young people at the top of your agenda. This is an incredibly exciting time for us. Hopefully you can feel the excitement in the air. We are 3.5 weeks away from the start of YouthWorks. Literally thousands of young people now know about their summer job. And my job is just to make sure that we're level set, remind you all what YouthWorks is and how important it is. So first of all, again, YouthWorks starts on July 1st. It is an initiative for young adults in Baltimore City between the ages of 14 and 21. Starting July 1, they will work for 25 hours a week, typically 5 hours a day, which means the last day of work this year will be August 2nd. This year, we expect to offer at least 8,300 young adults a summer job. It makes Baltimore's program one of the largest in the nation on a per capita basis. It is a big number, and we're really excited about the opportunities that young adults will have. Just again, as a refresher, young adults will be paid at least the minimum wage, which is in Maryland is $10.10 an hour. Again, they'll work the 5 weeks, which means that in total, young adults will work nearly 1 million hours this summer doing all kinds of amazing things for their communities and for our cities. They'll be paid a total of between $8 and $10 million that'll come out from our investors to the city into the pockets of young people and their families. It is a big deal for Baltimore, and it's also an economic stimulus for Baltimore. It is not too late to make a contribution and put more kids to work. So we're going to keep squeezing and scratching and clawing until the very last minute. Donations can be made to the Baltimore City Foundation, and if you make that one word, baltimorecityfoundation.org, you can make a tax-deductible contribution. I also want to remind folks that this is Golf Week. Baltimore Municipal Golf Corporation is hosting its annual Golf Week to support YouthWorks, which is why I'm talking about it. It's culminating in the Mayor's Cup this Sunday on June 9th. Again, we can't do this alone. We don't do it alone. We have 700 YouthWorks sites this year, and we've got lots of really important investors, and I want to introduce you to 2 of them. First, I'd like to introduce you to Bank of America's Greater Maryland Market President, Sabina Kelly, who will tell you about why Bank of America invested. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. It's a pleasure. And Director Cohen's. On behalf of Bank of America and the 2,000 plus associates, it's a privilege to be here. I'm from Baltimore, educated here, so it's very exciting since I was a young person once trying to get my first job. Our commitment here in Greater Maryland and in Baltimore City specifically on behalf of Bank of America is really helping young people have the opportunity to improve their economic mobility, but also learn about themselves, learn what it's like to go to work, and then hopefully lays a foundation for their future. I know for me, when I went to Western High School, I was so excited when in the 70s, which was very hard for me at the time to find employment, to work part-time while I was in high school. It was very exciting to get my job at the local pharmacy, and they took a chance on me, and I was able to work in the evenings and the weekends, and then all through high school and then during the summer. So it taught me a lot beyond just getting a paycheck. I would also like to add that for YouthWorks, for us, it is really great to see young people get the opportunity that I had to actually get that first job, to work. I met a young man here earlier who has been working 4 years and now is on to full-time employment as a result of YouthWorks. So that's exciting. So we're happy to give $100,000. This continues our commitment. We've given $525,000 thus far. And we hope to continue to be able to do that as we go forward and continue our commitment to the City of Baltimore. In addition, I just want to mention that we have given quite a bit through both our time and talent at Bank of America on philanthropic endeavors, and we'll like to continue to support all the things that our mayor is doing here in the city, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. You always know a real Baltimorean when they lead with what high school they went to. And we're very grateful to work with Bank of America throughout the year, and Janet Curry, who I have the pleasure of working with throughout the year. Now I'd like to introduce you to Ms. Nicole Elam, who is a vice president from JPMorgan Chase. We're very grateful for their investment, the work that they do nationally, and their emphasis on career pathways. Ms. Elam.
Thank you. Well, good morning to Mayor Young, Director Perkins Cohen, and to all of you. It is such an honor to be here today representing JPMorgan Chase. My name is Nicole Elam, and I want to thank you for giving JPMorgan Chase an opportunity to celebrate the great work that's happening right here in Baltimore for youth. We know that a young person's first job is an important job. Why? Because it's a critical step toward achieving economic stability and long-term employment. Yet in so many cities, we know that there are not as many summer jobs as you need. And so we are happy to be a part of this opportunity. And as a result of the fact that there aren't as many jobs, there are too many teens that don't have the opportunity to earn an income or to gain work experience. Compounding that is the fact that unemployment for those that are 16 to 24 years old is nearly 3 times that of those that are 25 and older. That's why, as part of JPMorgan Chase's workforce efforts, we've committed $17 million to summer youth employment jobs in 22 U.S. cities, resulting in 40,000 youth being placed in summer jobs at 7,000 work sites across the country. Our $17 million 5-year commitment to summer youth employment provides teens and young adults with access to summer work experiences that put them on a path toward greater economic mobility. Here in Baltimore, we are so proud to support the city's YouthWorks Summer Jobs Program, a program that places young people in 5-week internships in high-growth industries like finances and insurance, nonprofits, transportation, distribution and logistics, healthcare, and retail. By providing youth with the skills that they need to get a head start and helping them earn while they learn, you put them on a path toward building a brighter economic future, not just for themselves, but for their families. And upon completion of a summer youth program, we know that youth show improvement in job readiness skills, social skills, community engagement, and academic aspirations. And programs like these, they have a disproportionate positive impact on young people of color. All said, when public and private sectors work together to enhance skills training, we can create more opportunities for more people through career pathways and through aligning education with workforce systems. Having recently announced our expansion in the Baltimore community and recently announced the opening of Chase branches in Baltimore, we want to emphasize the fact that for us to do well and for us to succeed as a company, we must invest in the community. And so we are so proud to support one of the largest and the most productive summer youth programs in the nation. Baltimore's YouthWorks. Mayor Young and Director Perkins Cohen, thank you for your leadership, and more importantly, to the young people participating in this program, thank you for stepping up and taking this on. We are so proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. I just want to emphasize the importance to families that you mentioned. This week, we've been calling young people at home to let them know, to make sure that they got the letter, to let them know about their job. And I see Michelle Miles out there, one of the many people who work on this diligently. And so often we're talking to mom or grandma or aunt or uncle or dad or brother, and they are excited when we call them, not just the young people. So it is a true family affair. So we've told you a little bit about some of the investments, but we really wanted to give you a practical sense of what these dollars mean and how it goes on to support young people and programs throughout the city. And for that, I'd like to call up Fred Banks, who's the program director at the Maryland Department of Natural Resources, and his special guest.
Thank you very much. I wanted to first start by saying that I've been doing this for 10 years, and I had the opportunity to try it my first year without YouthWorks, and it was very difficult. YouthWorks reached out to me in my second year, and we increased our numbers tremendously. And it was just so much teamwork, so much help, and we couldn't do it without you guys. And I realize you guys do the heavy lifting of hiring, something that we're unable to do. And we've been able to hire thousands and thousands of kids over the summer to do things that they normally wouldn't be able to do. Give them unique skills, talents, opportunities, and it's just been a great opportunity for us. For the donors, I know you guys have supplied YouthWorks with funds, and we really, really appreciate it. It's something that is critical. But like the young man I'm about to introduce said to me just earlier, we did great yesterday. We can work harder tomorrow, and we can do a little bit more. We can, work a little harder to get more youth employed. And it's an investment that pays back in billions and trillions of dollars for Baltimore. So I think it's great what you guys do. I appreciate it, but let's do a little bit more. Let's keep it going. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me introduce the young man here, Life. He's been working with me for 4 years as a youth worker, and he's going to be a staff member for DNR this summer.
Well, good morning. My name is Life Chesley. I worked for the program for about 4 years. Thank you for having me here. Started when I was about 14, and the program, YouthWorks itself, is actually a good program. So I suggest every child to apply to YouthWorks if you can. Overall, the program was a success for me. It taught me a lot. It taught me how to, communication skills is something that I really learned from my job working at CJC, and I learned a lot of skills that I needed to progress in my life and what it guided me through. A lot of things that I knew it just was an amazing program. So one thing I would like to say is just, I really appreciate the guys that's giving out and everything like that, because it's well appreciated, and we appreciate you guys for everything you do, and the kids appreciate it as well, and that's all I have to say.
Congratulations.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I'm going to turn it back over to you. I can't do it better than Life, but I would just say the point that he makes is that it's not really just about one summer, right? So many people are like Life, where they start as a 14-year-old, and each summer is a building block to something bigger and better. And it's so important for our city. And again, this is one of the things that makes our program unique, is that we do start as young as 14, and every summer they can build upon that. So I'm grateful for you all. Mr. Mayor, I'm so grateful for you.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank all of the funders again for what you do to help make a nice summer for our young people. But to those out there who want to join those funders here, we still need your help. We want to provide year-round jobs for our youth. So if you're out there, you have those deep pockets, those billionaires out there that don't know what to do with your money, we'll take some of it to provide year-round employment for our young people. And again, I want to thank all of the funders, the banks, the companies, the philanthropic organizations. Thank you so much for providing the funds for our youth, 8,300 youth to have summer employment this year. With that, I'll take any questions, or you have questions for these funders back here. They're willing to engage you. Any questions?
For Jason, do you have any numbers right now on how many applicants you guys have and how many jobs are currently being provided?
Sure. So we had just over 11,000 young people complete the application process. As I mentioned, as of this date, June 6th, we will be offering to 8,300 young people. Many of them have received their offers. We are confident that that number will grow by some number. If I could give you the exact number, I would. A lot of it depends on folks hearing this message and making an investment. Employers also, of course, they can do this directly by hiring.
And for Bank of America and JPMorgan, obviously you guys are making this financial contribution. Are you guys also among the companies that are providing employment?
Do you want to?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so we do some things, Holden, by the way, good to see you. We do some work through some of the local not-for-profits, Europe being one of them, where they're working with Bank of America to provide training for that year up. And then they go into a program that we are committed to hire at least 10,000 people through our communities across the nation. And we are actually hiring we've hired six new associates here in Greater Maryland through the Pathways Program, which is an entry-level position at Bank of America, and then gives you a career path. So we do training once you are hired, and then I would emphasize also that we have committed to raise our minimum wage, as you're aware, and so we're at 17, and then we'll continue to 18, 19, 20, so that it's a living wage for our associates.
Yeah, as I mentioned, we are coming into the market, so very excited to be coming into the market. And so right now we are not taking on interns from the YouthWorks program, but we participate in Europe as well in some of our other markets, and we have an internship program as well. And so we're excited to continue to grow the ways that we can engage in Baltimore, not just from a YouthWorks perspective, but through our philanthropic investments as well with affordable housing, community development, neighborhood revitalization, financial health, and small businesses. So we're excited about that.
When do you expect that first branch to open? I was just curious.
Yeah, so it's going to be happening this year. It's going to be happening this year. And so stay tuned for more information.
And then for you, Mr. Mayor, or Jason, the donations that you guys are taking to have more jobs, I think you said that those donations will be made to the Baltimore City Foundation. If I remember correctly, the Baltimore City Foundation said recently that they were halting grant making until September, so maybe you can kind of clarify that.
I'm unaware of that.
Yeah, I can clarify that. So, and I actually appreciate your question. So, the Baltimore City Foundation is essentially an account that allows the city to make its payments directly to youth workers. The foundation has a separate amount of funds that they make small grants to other organizations for a whole host of things. They've temporarily put that on hold while they go through some strategic planning, but accounts like YouthWorks are alive and running, and that's exactly how we'll be putting 8,300 at least young people to work this summer.
Thank you. And what I would like to say, this is the final thing I would say, is I want to thank JPMorgan and the bank again. Even if you don't hire one youth, you have given the money for us to be able to put young people to work. And that's the main point. You're giving the money to put people to work. And I know that as the young people gain experience, if they want to go into banking, I know you all have those opportunities where they can have their pipeline to go into banking. But I just want to thank you for the contribution, because that's much appreciated. Thank you.